We're getting destroyed out there! Whatever possessed God in heaven to create Lieutenant Thunder? God didn't make Lieutenant Thunder. I made him. Who the hell are you? Mikesgaminggala. Colonel Mikesgaminggala. Look, we're a little busy this morning, Colonel. What can I do for you? I've come to get my boy. Your boy? I recruited him, I trained him, I commanded him in Beachhead for 3 years. I'd say that makes him mine. The Army thought I could help. In what way? Thunder is my problem. I don't think you understand. I didn't come here to rescue Thunder from you. I came to rescue you from him. Well, we all appreciate your concern, Colonel, and we'll try to be extra careful. You don't seem to accept the fact that you're dealing with an expert in guerrilla warfare, with a man who's the best, a man who's been trained to ignore pain, ignore weather, to jump vertically 90 degrees every time. Not 89, not 91, 90. In Beachhead, his job was to kill, period. To win by attrition. Well, Thunder was the best. Are you telling me that 200 men against your boy is a no-win situation for us? If you send that many, don't forget one thing. What? A good supply of body bags. Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and this week we're looking at Thunder Soldier for the Intellivision, published by Homebrew Inc. Thunder Soldier comes in a professionally printed box with a manual, 2 overlays, and a new injection molded cartridge. This was a choice of my channel members in our poll for a game that I had to review in October. And with how busy a month it's been, we're sneaking it in last minute. Is it any good? Let's find out. After the splash screens, we get an animated title screen that gives us the option of playing an easy or normal game. The only difference here is the speed of the game, with normal being twice the speed as easy. I'll show that later, but for now, let's start with easy. Starting the game, we hear from a man who looks suspiciously like Colonel Sam Troutman from the Rambo movies. A mysterious enemy force in the South Pacific is developing devastating weapons, and you, Lieutenant Thunder, are tasked with using all force necessary to ensure that these weapons never leave the island. Then we're on to Stage 1, the beach, with Latin for bold and fast written below. We take control of Lieutenant Thunder, where we'll be shooting our way through loads of enemy soldiers. Thunder Soldier is a run and gun in the same kind of lineage as other classics like Contra, albeit with one curious game mechanic. The gameplay here is pretty much what you'd expect. Press the button to shoot, hold the button to auto-fire. However, the unique element is when you press up on the disc. Something must be wrong with your legs because you can only jump vertically, 90 degrees every time. Thankfully, the levels are set up for this. It's a very intentional mechanic, but I'd be lying if I said that I was a fan of it. In games like this, muscle memory is a big thing, and considering in every other similar game you can jump more naturally, this definitely takes some getting used to. Your jumps here are also a little floaty, meaning that when you do decide to jump, it's a bit of a commitment. Being that you press up on the disc to jump, it can sometimes happen by accident, which can put you in a bad position if you're in a firefight. Your shots are also locked to horizontal fire only. All of the levels are separated into 3 sections with platforms: the bottom, top, and middle. From a strategy perspective, you kind of pick a lane and just try to deal with what comes your way there. I found that in the majority of cases, the top lane is usually your best bet. In this first level, the enemies are armed and unarmed foot soldiers. They'll run at you from either side of the screen as you move forward. Most of the time, they'll stick to their platform, but in some situations, they'll hop up or down at the edge of one. So be careful if you're hanging out near the end of a platform. Making it through the first level, we encounter our first boss, this multicolored monstrosity of a tank. This boss is actually quite easy once you nail its pattern. It'll start by launching its arms at you, and then driving towards you. The only vulnerable part of this boss is its mouth, so time your jumps for in between its attacks, and you should have no problem taking it down. Level 2 is the trenches, and you'll be entering the enemy's defenses. The Latin phrase here directly translates to "for altars and hearths," but it's more commonly used as a forgotten country kind of thing. This level adds mortar troops to the enemies that you'll encounter. Their shots will fire up in an arc until they reach where you are, and then they'll come plummeting down. It's best to take these guys out as quickly as you can, or at the very least, keep moving when they're on screen. The only times they really get you is if you're standing still. This is where your slow vertical jumps can be a hindrance. If you get caught jumping when one of these fire, it can be very difficult to avoid getting shot. Making it to the end of this stage gets you to the second boss, which is a massive zombie super soldier. Its weak point is its gun, so jumping and shooting is still the order of the day. When attacking, it jumps up and hovers while shooting multiple shots at you. Where you're standing at the time the shots are fired is where they'll go. So when it does start attacking, make sure you're moving constantly. At first, I found this guy pretty tricky, but find the pattern and it's still very doable. Then, after another pep talk from the Colonel, we're on to stage 3. The Latin here means deeds, not words. Being a man of action, Lieutenant Thunder has no problem complying. This level is a building complex, and yet again a new enemy is added to the fray: drones. These guys are small and quick. You can just jump over them, but they also blow up pretty easily if you crouch and shoot them. Advancing slowly and being very deliberate when jumping, you shouldn't have any issues making it through here and to the boss, this big skeleton guy. This guy isn't difficult at all, because jumps aren't required to hurt him. Just shoot him in the feet over and over again and dodge the shots coming from his mouth, and you'll be on your way to the next level, where the Colonel tells you that the military is worried about the zombie soldier you found and needs you to find out who's behind this. Stage 4 is the offices, and with the Latin for never unprepared as our motto, we head right into it. Here the new enemy type is the walking robot. Honestly, not particularly scary as long as you keep blasting. They're full-sized and don't shoot, so you'll just have to be wary of their skittish movement. This level is really straightforward, and getting to the end, we encounter the penultimate boss, this massive head with an exposed brain. This guy isn't overly tough. He fires mortars, so when you're attacking, just make sure you bait and switch them to land in places you just left. And in between, you can fire your gun into his mouth to take him down. Defeating the zombie head gets you to the last level of the game, the lair of Dr. Death, the evil mastermind behind all of this. With the Latin for "let us dare" as our inspiration, we head into the laboratories to face the Doctor once and for all. Honestly, for me, this was the first level that I found to be genuinely a challenge. Not that too much has changed here, but the new skull enemy can be a real pain and constantly have you stopping in your tracks to deal with it. There are a lot of open areas to this level, and as skulls descend from above, they stop at about the halfway point of the screen. This means that you'll have to jump in order to shoot them, and you'll want to do so quickly, as once they've stopped for a moment, they'll fire in the direction that you're standing. This means that unfortunately, if you're in the middle of a jump when they attack, they're probably going to get you. This level will require patience, but just focus on dealing with the skulls as soon as they appear, and eventually you'll make it to the end where you can fight Dr. Death himself. I consider this guy to be the hardest boss in the game, which makes sense because he's the last one. His vulnerability is his head, and in order to get to it, you'll have to hop up on the platform at the far left. Periodically, he'll step forward and fire a volley of 3 shots at your position. The reason he's difficult is because in order to evade these shots, you'll have to time your jumps so that the first shot is low and the second shot is high. Precision is paramount here, but when you get it down, anyone watching would think that this guy is a piece of cake. Defeating Dr. Death, the Colonel reminds you that according to official records, this mission never happened, but you may be called on again in the future. From here, it's game over, but you can continue and loop through the game as many times as you like. Thankfully, this isn't a tough game to beat, as you have infinite continues should you die, with the caveat that continuing resets your score. Should you want a tougher challenge, normal mode plays the exact same game but at twice the speed, meaning your timing will have to match. Also, if you feel your hands cramping up, pressing 9 at the title screen will enable automatic auto-fire. This is my preferred way to play. And that's Thunder Soldier for the Intellivision. So what did I think? Well, at first I wasn't a fan, but it really won me over. The vertical jumping definitely takes getting used to, but if it wasn't designed this way, I think the game would be too easy. Once I did get the hang of it, I found it to be pretty intuitive and an important aspect to the game being more challenging, but not too difficult. So far as run and guns go, Thunder Soldier is a pretty good one, and for the system, pretty unique. If you get a chance to pick this one up, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Fun game. Thank you for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members. I appreciate your support so much. As always, my contact info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.